In a kingdom nestled between shimmering mountains and an enchanted forest, lived two princesses, sisters as different as the sun and moon, yet bound by a love as deep as the stars. The elder, Princess Alara, was the heir to the throne, her spirit as bright and commanding as the midday sun. Her days were filled with lessons on statecraft and diplomacy, her heart devoted to the well-being of her people. The younger, Princess Lyra, was a child of the twilight, her soul woven from moonlight and whispers of the ancient woods. She found solace not in the castle's grand halls, but among the fireflies and ancient trees of the whispering woods, her closest friends, the creatures of the forest. Their peaceful existence was a beautiful tapestry, but it was woven with a single, dark thread of curse laid upon their lineage centuries ago. An embittered sorceress, spurned by a past king, had decreed that the firstborn royal daughter would be blessed with a kingdom to rule, but her heart would be forever encased in ice, incapable of true love. The secondborn would find a love as deep as the ocean, but she would never wear a crown. The curse was a cruel paradox, designed to ensure the royal line would always be fractured by either duty or desire. As Alara approached her coronation, the chill of the curse began to creep into her heart. She was respected, admired, even loved by her subjects, but she felt a profound emptiness, a cold barrier between herself and the world. She watched couples in the village square, their hands intertwined, their eyes sparkling with a warmth she could only imagine. Her sense of duty was a heavy crown, and the ice around her heart was its cruelest jewel. She confided in Lyra one evening, her voice a fragile whisper. "I fear the curse is true, Lyra. I command a kingdom, but my own heart is a frozen wasteland. I would trade all this stone and gold for a single moment of the warmth you speak of." Lyra's heart ached for her sister. While Alara was trapped in her gilded cage, Lyra was free. Her days in the woods had led her to a young, kind-hearted herbalist named Kale. His laughter was like the babbling of a brook, and his knowledge of the forest rivaled her own. Their connection was immediate, a gentle flame that grew into a warm, steady fire. They would spend hours together, sharing stories under the canopy of ancient oaks, their love a quiet, beautiful song. But Lyra knew her love for Kale meant she could never ascend the throne, a destiny she accepted for herself, but not for her sister. Determined to break the curse, Lyra ventured deeper into the whispering woods than ever before, seeking the legendary Sunstone, an artifact said to hold the warmth of 1,000 summers. Kale, unwilling to let her go alone, joined her quest. Their journey was fraught with challenges. They navigated treacherous, shifting mazes of thorns and outsmarted mischievous sprites who guarded the forest's secrets. They crossed the chasm on a bridge of moonlight and answered the riddles of a wise, ancient owl. Through it all, their bond deepened, their love proving to be a light against the encroaching shadows. Meanwhile, in the castle, Alara felt the ice solidifying. Her decrees became colder, her judgments more severe. She saw the fear in her advisor's eyes and the growing distance from her people. Desperate, she began to study the ancient texts herself, searching for any loophole, any forgotten piece of magic that could save her. She discovered that the curse was not merely about the absence of love, but about a choice. It forced one sister into a loveless reign and the other into a powerless love. The sorceress's true goal was to divide them, to ensure they could never rule together, combining strength and heart. Just as Alara made her discovery, Lyra and Kale found the Sunstone, pulsating with a gentle golden light in the heart of a hidden grotto. As Lyra reached for it, the stone's warmth flooded her senses, and with it, a vision. She saw two thrones side by side, one of gleaming gold, the other carved from the living wood of the forest. She saw Alara, her face etched with sorrow, and she saw herself, happy with Kale, but forever an outsider to her sister's world. The vision revealed the curse's true nature. It wasn't just about love, but about shared destiny. The curse could only be broken not by melting the ice, but by proving that love and duty were not mutually exclusive. Lyra and Kale raced back to the castle, the sunstone glowing warmly in her satchel. They arrived on the eve of Ilara's coronation, bursting into the throne room where Ilara stood alone, her face pale and cold. Lyra rushed to her sister's side. "Ilara, the curse is a lie. It wants us to choose between ruling and loving, but we don't have to," she presented the Sunstone. "This isn't to melt your heart. It's to remind you of the warmth we already share." Ilara looked from the stone to her sister's earnest face and then to Chaol, who stood respectfully behind her. For the first time, she saw not a threat to the throne, but an extension of her sister's love. In that moment, something shifted. The icy grip on her heart didn't shatter, but it loosened. She understood. The curse thrived on division. Its power came from their acceptance of its terms. On the day of her coronation, Ilara stood before her kingdom. "I was to be crowned your sole queen today," she announced, her voice ringing with newfound strength. "But a kingdom ruled without love is a kingdom in winter, and a love that cannot serve its people is a love incomplete." She turned and beckoned to Lyra, who came forward, Chaol by her side. "My sister, Lyra, possesses a heart full of compassion and a wisdom born of the natural world. Therefore we shall break this ancient curse not with magic, but with a choice. We will rule together. I, as your queen of the castle, and she, as the queen of the wilds. Our strengths will be our kingdom's strength. My duty and her love." A gasp went through the crowd, followed by a wave of jubilant cheers. As the two crowns were brought forth, one of gold and one of woven willow and wildflowers, they were placed on the sisters' heads simultaneously. The moment the crowns touched their brows, the Sunstone, held between their joined hands, flared with a brilliant, blinding light. The last vestiges of the curse dissolved into nothingness. A genuine, radiant warmth filled Ilara's chest, not just from the stone, but from the love of her sister and the hope of her people. And so the kingdom entered a new era of unprecedented peace and prosperity, ruled by two queens. One governed with logic and law, the other with empathy and nature's wisdom. Ilara found a profound love for her people, a warmth that bloomed in her once frozen heart. And Lyra, with Chaol as her prince consort, brought the magic of the woods to the heart of the kingdom. The sisters, once destined to be separated by a cruel fate, had rewritten their story, proving that the greatest magic of all was not found in ancient artifacts or powerful spells, but in the unbreakable bond of love and the courage to choose one's own destiny together.